Hello and welcome to Weekend Investing Daily Bytes. Today is 30th of December. We are coming very close to bringing in the new year, and in this episode we want to go over what are our lessons learned from 2021, not necessarily 2021, but mainly from this pandemic situation that we've seen. And we also tweeted about this yesterday and collected lessons from other folks as well. So not just our lessons, but lessons from other folks. So in this festive cheer, let's also not forget to draw lessons from the journey that we have been through. Briefly about the markets are in a holiday mood. So a little bit up, little bit down, but really not going anywhere. Nifty closing pretty much flat, minus 0.06%, Bank Nifty closing plus 0.05%. Some softness in metals and energy and some pickup in IT and pharma. So it does seem like there is some trend towards defensives, but in the last week and in the first week of January there is lower activity. So finding a trend in these lesser volume periods may not be the right thing to do. In terms of the weekend investing, small cases also, most of them flat. LTC NX2 jumped by 0.5%. NNF10 was down significantly at 1% on back of Nifty Next 50 dropping 0.8%. And MI EverGreen, MI25, MI50 also losing some ground today, but nothing exceptional really in any pocket of the market. So coming back to lessons from 2021, so few lessons that I thought were important lessons, especially from my point of view, maybe a 50-year-old's point of view, is that in the last 18 months we've learned that we have only one life, having lost so many near and dear ones in the last year and a half, and I suppose every family has been through that trauma of losing somebody near or dear, some friends, some relatives, or somebody immediately in your family. If this kind of a episode in the last 18 months has not taught us anything about life, then I guess nothing ever will. So the lesson to draw here for me is that you have only one life, and that is receding very fast. It seems like older people, for 25-year-olds, 50-year-olds are like extinct, and for 50-year-olds, 75-year-olds are extinct. But it is not like that. Life is going away equally fast for each of these categories, and one should try to live it up as much as possible and live each day to the fullest. Second lesson that has come around for me especially is that the kind of professional growth weekend investing has seen in the last couple of years, I would say, is phenomenal. And 2021 was probably much better than 2020, and we've seen subscriber growth, we've seen Twitter following growth, YouTube, Telegram channel, whichever medium we picked, we've seen tremendous growth there. And if you ask me in December 2020, if I were to guess where will we be by December 21, I would not have guessed even 20% of where we were able to reach. So the huge lesson that I drew from this is that the potential what you can achieve over time is something that you cannot even fathom at times. 5 years back, I could not have dreamt to be in a situation where we are running a small unit of 4 people including me, and we are servicing 15,000 people. I could not dream about it, but today it is happening, and let's see what the next year would hold. But the exponential nature of things which our brain cannot, my brain at least cannot, extrapolate, is something that can happen, and with discipline and with doing small steps, anybody can achieve anything more or less. The third lesson I have drawn is that one should be grateful permanently. A lot of people are grateful, or they feel grateful once they have something good going for them. But I think with the pandemic, with losing friends and family, with doing well in the markets, doing well as a business, doing well as personally in a healthy and positive manner, I think one should be grateful always. God is very, very kind always, and one should remain grateful, and one should maybe look for positives even out of very negative situations. I can tell you personally, a very negative situation happened with me in 12, 13, 14, because of which I kind of moved out of broking and started to look for running my own money on my own self, and then starting off as an advisory. In hindsight, all that was really good for me. Right? At that point, it seemed end of the world, but it did sort of turn itself on its own. So being grateful is something lesson that I definitely think. And now I also will go through some of the tweets that we've received from Atul. He says, keeping positive frame of mind is key in these uncertain times. 2021 taught us to be positive, optimistic, and ever grateful for whatever happening in our life. So I think very, very close to what I thought were the lessons are the lessons from Mr. Atul. So thank you so much, Atul, for sharing these. From Mr. Mahajan, the more you give, the more you get. Had my biggest year in 10 years of business after 2020 based on this premise. So congratulations. And again, the same message that probably you could not have imagined, the kind of gain that the business has received. Mr. Jagdish says, lessons from 2021, staying invested in markets is key to the success. My portfolio started in 2018 with MI25, was in loss till 2020. Decision to stick to system in tough times like COVID paid off with 2021 giving best returns from the market. So congratulations, Jagdish. We would also like to have you on the weekend investing chat very soon. We want users who have been with us for at least 2 years or more to come and share their experience with us and with the newcomers that are there, because your experience is something that is unmatched. You have seen the portfolio go down 30-40% and then come back up and win over the drawdown, provided that you were disciplined. So your experience is priceless actually, and we will certainly be inviting you very soon. Ms. Kalpa says, cut off the noise and learn to identify the real from the chatter, and as a fingerprint of each individual is different, the same way the investment portfolio also differs from person to person, hence don't blindly copy others. So very beautiful tweet, very beautiful thoughts that each person will need to find their own path. Each individual will have a different investment strategy, and you need to cut out the noise and identify what really is helping you go forward. So thank you so much for that. Ankit has the next lessons. Live in the present and be content. A fantastic lesson. We must always have a relatively higher allocation to equities. That's really, really important. In my earlier years, even when I was younger and I could take more risks, I never had higher allocation to equities for whatever reason. But that is a lesson learned in a hard way. And stocks and markets can extend rally beyond our imagination and analysis. So again, the element of that surprise, element of that the human mind cannot extrapolate where one can reach, is again being echoed here. So thank you so much, Ankit, for this. Mr. Subramaniam says, not doing asset allocation taught me bitter lessons in 2020. Finding small cases positive in 2021. So fantastic lessons, sir. Again, these two are key lessons that many have drawn. Not doing asset allocation and finding ways of doing more disciplined investing. And there's a lot of people. There's 100,000 people out there who are doing ad hoc investing. Nothing wrong in doing direct stock investing, but they're not putting in the requisite time. They're not having a proper, some strategy, some, any way of position sizing, any way of, exiting. And it's all very ad hoc. Hearsay, watch the TV and do something. Hear from a friend and do something. Money is not made that way. It may happen sometimes that you'll make money, but you'll lose it out in the entirety in coming time. So fantastic lessons. Thank you very much. Next is from Mr. Atul Sinha. Nothing is better than momentum investing. Thank you so much, sir. I want to say this myself, but people feel that I'm so biased that I just keep pumping up momentum investing. But I mean, I totally agree with you. At the age of 65 years, after trying everything, trading, investing on fundamentals, etc., in 92, nothing is better than momentum investing. Regrets that I entered at age of 62 years, but my sincere advice for younger generations. So thank you so much for your confidence on momentum investing, and truly any strategy which has the proper framework of what to buy, when to buy, how much to buy, and when to sell. These framework, if it is set, then momentum investing or any other investing all will do very well. So thank you so much, Mr. Sinha. Next one is from Vinaya. My learning is not to exit something just because it has surpassed historical highs and PE. It can surprise you. Yes, this is a very important learning. I often say if a stock is going to become a multi-bagger, it will go from 100 to 1000. It will cross its recent or last 52-week high at 150, and a lot of people will get out. But unless it crosses all its previous highs, it cannot become a multi-bagger. So crossing of previous highs itself is an indication that there is a potential of multi-bagging here. But most people sell out just because it has moved 40%, 50%, 100%, etc. So good lesson, very good lesson, and very good lesson for momentum investing as well. This last lesson is from Mr. Arjun. Importance of having a system strategy for entry and exits. Very, very important lesson. If you're doing ad hoc investing, ad hoc trading, I would suggest please don't do that. It will not be sustainable. Second lesson, ROI is important than fancy profit numbers. That's very true. I mean, a lower CAGR of even 15%. I mean, 15%, people scoff at 15% these days. What is 15%? But 15%, if you can do CAGR and over a long period of time, that is good enough for anything. Identify one system according to your style and stick to that. Simplicity makes wonders in long term. Fantastic lessons from Arjun. I think if you can derive inspiration from him around these lessons, these are fantastic lessons to draw from. So this is all we have in the lessons, and I want to remind you that for the new Smallcase that we have launched, MI EverGreen, the discount code of HNY2022 is valid till 2nd of January. We are very confident about this long-term strategy, which has a hedging of gold and the strongest 20 stocks from the CNX 200 universe. It's like the anchor or the core portfolio that you can build, and it is very, very aggressively priced so that maximum participation can happen. So please use that. Go to weekendinvesting.smallcase.com and apply this HNY2022 code for MI EverGreen. So thank you so much, and I wish you all the best for the new year, and positive vibes for health. May you have a great investment run, and may your life be full of prosperity and positivity. Thank you so much. Bye.